Yeah, definitely. Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Welcome to this live section from Paulnocode. So today, we're gonna be learning how to build MVP with Bubble. Bubble is a very cool no-code tool. It's very awesome. It's a tool that you can actually use to build anything. From mobile apps to web applications. You can use it to build full-fledged products. You can use it to build MVPs or anything you just you decide to build for yourself. Anything from mobile. So you can build anything with Bubble these days, and Bubble is improving and improving by the moment. Every single moment Bubble is improving. So today, there's no better person to talk about this. How to build MVP with Bubble than somebody who is a Bubble expert. Christopher. I've known Christopher for a while. Definitely, he's a Bubble expert, and not just an expert. He has built a Bubble product for himself that he's currently selling and scaling the market. So I want to talk to Christopher today, and the scores, how he is managing, building with Bubble, how he has helped other clients build with Bubble, launch their MVP, those things that he looks out for, and how he has used Bubble to build his own product. Hi, Christopher. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. How's Ghana?
Everything is moving well here.
Glad you're all right. We stay in the rainforest here also. It rains all the time over here, and
Yep.
you can't even beat it. When
It
it's
also
raining,
rains
it's
here
raining.
in the morning, but it's
Definitely.
sunny now.
Definitely. But I'm sure with no code, it rains money for you too, right?
Let's not go there.
Okay, okay. So we won't go there. We won't talk about the money on this one. But has it been? How did you discover Bubble? Let's start from that tiny point. How did you discover Bubble yourself?
Okay, so first of all, I would want to introduce myself as a web designer and also a no-code developer specializing in tools like Bubble and Framer.
Yeah,
And I got into this space having a very diverse background. I
yeah,
actually studied electrical engineering and then I transitioned into telecom engineering at Huawei. But then along the line, I became more curious because there are trends of a lot of tools being announced, and I'm very active on social media. I
yeah,
have a platform on LinkedIn and also Twitter.
yeah,
So there were quite trends going on about UX design, and it got me curious. So I decided to go into UX designing. I took quite a number of boot camps, and eventually I became a UX designer or a web designer. I was focusing on web design. But along the line, I still became more curious.
yeah.
There are so many no-code tools coming up. There is Framer, Webflow, but the one that really caught my attention was Bubble. And the reason was that I had the impression that you would be able to build any idea that you have, and you would also be able to sell your products to people, and then they will be able to pay for it. And you
Mm-hmm.
are doing everything without like necessarily knowing how to code. So this was a very interesting thing for me. I have tried to learn how to code in the past, but it wasn't successful. So this was
It didn't
definitely,
work out.
yep, this was definitely the channel for me. So I went forward to take on the Air Dev Bootcamp. That is the free bootcamp they are offering.
Yeah.
I did that for about 2 months. The community has been so helpful. Anytime you have a challenge, you post it there, and then they have a solution for you right away. So I did that for 2 months. Eventually, I became a Bubble developer. And since then, I've been able to work for quite a few clients. And it is so interesting that the learning process like it doesn't stop. There is someone who is about 7 years into Bubble, but
Yeah.
almost every day he or she is discovering something new. And
Something
it also
new.
worked for me. I've been in this space for about 1.5 years, but then there's so many things that I'm learning. And it's interesting that you'll be able to earn for yourself while still exploring new stuff. That is the most interesting thing about this. And every project that you work on gives you some kind of a new experience.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yes, to actually work on different products like fintech products, educational products, or let's say AI, which is kind of something that is trending now. So I've been in this space for about 1.5 years, and I've enjoyed the experience so far. It is it is because I've been in no code that I am having the opportunity to be on this call with you today.
No, it's such a pleasure to be on the call with you. I mean, I see your activity on Twitter, and I see it in other space, and it's such a pleasure to see the kind of work that you're doing
Yeah.
in the industry. So I'm going to backtrack you a little bit. Just getting started from learning how to code. I learned how to code myself. I'm a computer science major, right, in school, and we did all of that. Fortran, a lot of all this other coding language. So if you're on the call, you don't really understand this coding stuff. Don't worry, it's nothing for you to know. So we did
Okay.
all of this stuff we did all of this stuff in school, but I was looking for a way to get things started easily, fast and easily. That was what I was looking for. I know I started from WordPress and I moved all the way to checked out a whole lot of other tools, but it's same anybody code, or because you don't have a coding background, but I did, and I still use no code, and you using no code. So tell me, what's your experience like being, no coding background, not knowing what coding is or what a web application is, you being able to grow from that place where you are able to you're able to pick up a tool, you learn the tool, and then you're not building a launching product with it. What's the experience like?
Okay, I think it's actually has to do with the experience and what you are looking for, like to be your end game. So I actually got into this space first and foremost because I wanted to build my own portfolio as a UX designer. And around that time, the only solutions that I was getting around was that you need to do the design and then you hand it over to a developer, someone who
Yeah,
knows how to code, to help you build this kind of portfolio. So that made me interested in tools like Webflow. But
yeah,
eventually, I became open to people sharing the, let's say, SaaS products that they have actually built and
yeah,
how it is helping them to make connections and to solve the problems of people. So I didn't want to just stay at designing a portfolio where I would hope that someday someone will hop into my portfolio to see what I'm
yeah.
doing. Actually want to go out to build a product and to market it for people to see what I can also do. So that is um, what actually drove me to get into this space, and I'm loving the experience so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad that you're loving this brand so far. It's something for me because I had a lot of ideas in my head, and I wanted to build some of these ideas because I used to work for a SaaS company before now, and the SaaS company, it was I know I used to work with the SaaS company as customer success officer, even though I was into software, but we were all geeks in the company. But I was working as a customer success officer, and I was just seeing how much money you actually need to build an app itself. It was so huge, it was a whole lot of money for you to just
And also the
translate what's in
time
your head.
constraints.
Absolutely. It could take up like 9 months, 9 months to 9 months to 1 year to actually come up with an app itself. And I thought there should be like a better way to actually come up with something, have an idea in your head and, build something. But what would you say? How about people who have ideas in their head right now? There are a lot of persons who have ideas in their head and they're thinking, I'm going to translate that. I want to translate that into a product. But when a lot of persons they want to translate, think of all of these hurdles, like paying developers, getting money for all of this. So how do you think founders these days, because you're a founder, you're not just a developer, how do you think founders these days should be able to think? I mean, how do you think they should think about building products now, launching the idea in their head, transforming it from their head all the way to something tangible that they can put into the market?
Okay, I think currently there are so many tools around. When I say tools, I mean no code tools exactly.
Yeah.
And they all tackle like specific stuff. We have powerful tools like Bubble that can help you build full-fledged web applications. There's also Webflow and Framer that can help you build a very beautiful marketing website. There's also Jano and Airtable that handles databases. So depending on the kind of solution that you want to bring on board, there is probably a tool for you. So I think it is our duty as founders or entrepreneurs to actually research into some of these tools that and actually know what they offer before we can consider going into them, because sometimes the learning curve can be a bit challenging. So we need to do some good research into the tools that are existing and actually compare that with the solutions that we want to bring on board and the value that we want to deliver to our potential clients or our potential customers.
But what exactly can Bubble build? What exactly can you build with Bubble?
Okay, so you can build an application that, let's say, an AI application for, let's say, dentists. A dentist would want to, um, let's say, manage some tasks. So they would want to use AI to help them in getting some solutions. Let's say um, a client comes to a dentist and then
Mm-hmm.
they have some questions about some diagnosis of or something that they are facing. A dentist would have to quickly use a tool like AI to help them diagnose that specific thing that is happening to that customer, and they can do this by using a simple app built for dentists, built on Bubble, and this app will have an integration to a third-party service like OpenAI, and right from there, the dentist will be able to key in whatever thing that he or she is looking for, and right from there, they will have the solutions. So that is a simple example of what can be built on Bubble. And it is also interesting that you will be able to integrate payment platforms. I think the common
Mm-hmm.
one is Stripe. There is also
Yes,
Level
try. Yeah.
and other payment platforms that you'll be able to incorporate them into your mobile apps through APIs. So that is how easy you can build an application on Bubble.
But apart from this AI app that that you just talked about and payment, what other type of apps you've been developing for a while? What other type of apps do you see entrepreneurs build on Bubble?
Okay, so quite recently, I am building for a client. I am building a platform that you would want to use to manage ceremonies. That is weddings and engagements or other
Yeah,
like those kind of ceremonies. So they would want so many user roles like a normal standard user, a staff, and an admin. And currently on the market, I don't think you would easily find a tool that can help you manage that kind of enterprise.
yeah.
So they are seeking for a bubble app that will incorporate some of these user rules, like the standard user, the staff, and then the admin, where each of them will have different interfaces that they are working on. So the standard user will be using the app as a normal user, but then the admin and then the staff would also have a different interface where they will be using to manage whatever thing that users are doing on the platform. So that is how powerful Bubble Labs can be.
Okay. Personally, I've used Bubble to build SaaS, software as a service applications. A couple of them I've used it to build a SaaS for managing mentorship. A lot of mentorships. I've used it for directory-based application for artists. I've used it to build chatbot generators. A couple of application. But let's talk about minimum viable products. I saw how you were building in public. How you were building in public all through while you were building DevBoss. Let's talk about minimum viable product. There are lots of founders on my channel here who says, hey Paul, I want to build minimum viable products. I want to build I just want to build MVP. I just want to be able to take the idea from my head and take it to a place where I can show it to an investor, or I can wrap in some amount of money, and make some sales so that I'll be able to, this whole thing about living a life that I deserve, right? So I'll be able to maybe travel to the Bahamas and live a life that I deserve. So what do you think? How do you conceptualize building with bubble, with no code? How do you conceptualize it? There's one, I believe that there's something about being able to translate that idea into the paper first without even touching it. And how do you know that bubble is the right tool for your project? For me, this is what I believe, that there's one thing about saying, okay, I'm going to build everything on bubble, but I still think somewhere that bubble might not be the right tool for some projects that you want to run. So first, how do you bring the idea to a place where you think, okay, I think bubble can build it, and how do you know that bubble itself is the right tool for your business?
Okay, first of all, I do not believe that you would be able to tell right on the go that Bubble is the perfect platform for me to build this solution, especially when you are just starting out. I
Okay.
believe that you need some experience. You would probably have to go through a course program or a boot camp to build examples of simple applications, and then you would get the experience to explore the features and the power, or how far Bubble can actually help you build applications. So when you compare this with building um, MVPs, I think no code or a tool like Bubble should be your go-to, like should be the go-to for founders.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to build a simple product to validate within a niche market, you don't necessarily have to go through that learning curve of learning how to code or
Yeah.
hiring a developer. There are so many tools out there that you can learn within a short while and then build it yourself. You will just put yourself in the experience of how the user would feel, and then
Okay.
you would find ways of like providing the necessary solutions, because you are building it yourself. You know how it feels, and you will know how you would want the solutions to work for your customers. So that is basically building MVPs on no code tools like Bubble. Yes, I think they should be the go-to for founders who are looking to build simple products to test among like a small niche market.
But you just said, simple product. It's bubble only good enough for building simple products, right? It's bubble only good enough for building simple products. Can't we think of an enterprise product and say, oh, I'm going to build an enterprise product on Bubble? Because I've been building for Bubble on Bubble for a while, right? And I see that Bubble has an enterprise plan. So I think that it's possible for you to build enterprise product on Bubble. So how do you marry that? Some persons say no code is only good enough for building tiny products, and other person says no code is good enough for building very huge product. How do you marry that together?
Okay, so Bubble in fact can be used to build simple products and also complex products. But sometimes um, we think about the whole complex scenario of a solution, but we always need to start from somewhere small, like a simple feature. So that was what exactly I was referring to as
Okay.
like something like a simple product. You
Okay.
can build something simple on Bubble, and it gives you that opportunity to scale. So you can easily make tweaks to an application you have already built by adding more features or adding more third-party services to it. Like Bubble gives you that opportunity for you to scale, and it's like a flexible platform that you can use to build any kind of product that you think about.
And awesome, awesome. I think I just want to chip this in. So when I'm trying to pick features for myself or for a client that we build for, this is the way I personally do it. I mean, it might be different for you. So the way I personally do it, we get a list and we label it three different lists. We say we put the must have, we put the might have and we put the we have. So let's say, for example, a person have like 20 features, because some founders can have features and man, they can have so many features
So
in their head. And then let's say, for example, a person wants to build an app and says that come to you and say, I want to build an Airbnb. Airbnb, as it's such a popular app and people want to build it for a very niche industry. And the person comes and say, then I ask the person, so what kind of features do you want? And God, the person starts to list. I want people to be able to log in, leave comments. I want the video library, music library, everything. They get to list
some
everything.
features are not that necessary.
Absolutely. They are not that necessary, but then we begin to transfer it. We begin to ask questions like, is it core? Is this a core feature? Is this not a core feature? And then we keep on asking those questions. And then when we get to that point, finally we realize that the only feature that you need for Airbnb, it's a table for people to be able to submit their property, a feature that allows users to log in and log out, a way for people to browse those property, which is three, and lastly, a way for people to just make payment, right?
Payment.
Which is just four.
I think
So,
that's
so when we break that in, we'll be like, no, you can launch with these four features. It doesn't matter how crazy it is. You launch with these four features, and then you can go ahead and decide to build all the must-have or and other things that you want to build. But there's a couple of questions here. So I thought Joseph is saying, can I use it for agro business? I'm pretty sure he's trying to say, uh, um, can I
uh,
build can I use Bubble to build
product of bubble.
for agro business? I think that's what he's trying to say. And he's also asking another question. Can I use it for my consulting services, courses, and mentoring sections for agro business and food processing? So, Joseph, I think you might want to ask that question very well. If you mean, maybe he might mean, can I use Bubble to build an application for my agro business, consulting, and food processing kind of business? I think that's what he's trying to say.
So I think you can use bubble in any kind of field. It could be fintech, it could be agribusiness, as he's talking about. It could be educational. It could be in any field. But the most important question that he needs to answer is, what is that product doing? What is the key feature of that product? What kind of value and what kind of service would that application would be able to do for my end user? That is a most important question that he needs to answer. And to cap it off, I'm just trying to say that Bubble can be used to build any solution that you can think of in any field. But once again, you need to be very specific on what the product is doing and the value for your end users.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to be specific. And I think there's another question from Isaac. Isaac says, what's the advantage of Bubble over Flutter Flow? Christopher, have you built with Flutter Flow before?
Nope.
Okay. I think I'll answer this one too. I've used Flutter Flow before. I'm a Flutter Flow ambassador, right? So I
Yes.
think, funny as it may sound, almost every no-code tool that you see in the market, they operate the same principle. Very similar principle. As funny as it may sound, take it to the bank. Almost every no-code tool that you see in the market, Upright, AppGesture, Bubble, Flutterflow, almost any tool, they do the same thing. And that same thing they do is the ability to say, hey, we're not going to allow you to spend so much time coding. We're going to put in a layer, right? We're going to put in a layer, an abstract layer, where everything that you're doing right there is going to turn into code. Though Flutterflow is more mobile focused, right? Flow is a lot more mobile focused. Why Bubble is a lot more web focused. But now I think it's changing, right? Bubble, they are launching their mobile application development interface in a few weeks.
Compete with Flutterflow.
Yeah, and to compete with Flutterflow, and also Flutterflow, they are going very strong on their website of things, right? So I think if you want to take a look at it, just ask yourself: majority of my users, where are they going to be? If they are going to be on mobile, fine. If they're going to be on mobile, then Flutterflow might be a good thing of choice. If they are going to be on the web, Bubble might be a good thing of choice. And also, another thing you want to ask yourself when you're choosing Flutterflow or Bubble, ask yourself, are people going to be installing? All right. If you're building an application for MacBook, Flutterflow is your choice. If you're building an application for that it requires you to install things everywhere, so Flutterflow is going to be your choice. But if you're building something that lives on the web, then Bubble is definitely going to be a choice for you. So, Christopher, I want to come back. There are lots of other questions on the chat, but I want to come back to you first before we go back to the question.
Okay.
You yourself, you built a product on Bubble. Tell us, how
Yeah.
did the product really come about for you? It's AI. I know AI is trending. There's a lot of AI too out there. But how did you come up with the idea yourself?
Okay. Earlier this year, as I was building an application for a client, I had to do a simple product demo showing some of the features that I have built for him. But
Yeah.
my voice was not in a good shape, and I did not necessarily wanted to show my face. So, there are some content creators who would want to go into faceless content creation
Yeah.
where they are creating valuable content, but they are not necessarily showing their face. Well, if you
Yes.
are not showing your face, then obviously you can also not necessarily use your natural speaking voice. So I thought about this, and I was kind of thinking through it that I could actually build a solution to solve this issue. And my solution is not an entirely new solution to this kind of issue that I'm talking about, but then there are so many tools that can help you do text to speech. So my software is actually a text to speech app. It's
Yeah.
called delvebot. The URL is delve.bot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I'll
actually,
definitely drop in the chat for everybody to take a look.
yeah, it's actually a SaaS product that can help you make voiceovers and also help you clone your own voice so that your voiceovers are going to have some personal touch to it. So this was the reason why I came up with the idea to build Delbots, and making me build my first SaaS application has also opened doors for me to learn about some things that has to do with like managing SaaS products and kind of convincing people to actually buy it.
Yeah.
So yes, this is actually what brought me into the idea of building Delbots.
Yeah, I like it. I like the AI part of things these days because it takes a whole lot of stress away from you and you don't get to do things manually. And I'm glad that you're helping. But
Yeah.
so, what was the challenges you faced while you were trying to while you were building a bubble? And I think before that, I'm gonna ask, how did you pick your features? I know most AI application. I've seen AI application on the Play Store. They can have up to 300 features. I'm telling you, I've seen AI applications, lots and lots and lots of them. They can have
Mhm.
up to 300 features. They have features for test speech, speech to text,
Yeah.
create your content calendar, create your Twitter content, Facebook content. So, how did you pick your features? And yeah, just let's just start with that. How did you pick your features while you were creating that?
Okay. In terms of picking features, this will take us back to what we discussed earlier. You need to answer the question of what specifically or what problem are you solving for your end users? What challenge are they facing that you would want to make a solution for? And for my type of users, for my potential customers, I believe that they face challenges whenever they do not want to use they do not want to show their self
Yeah,
or use their natural speaking voice to create content. So because of that, I made Delbot to have one specific feature that you can upload a document, and then right from uploading a document, you can convert that into a voiceover. So the document has like all the necessary things that you would want to see, and
yeah,
then you just import the document, it converts it into a voiceover. And you also have that functionality of cloning your own voice. So
yeah,
you can generate that voiceover in your own voice, and it will be as if you are the one speaking.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to build all of this? How long did it take you?
It took me about 2 months, let's say 1.5 months, but and
That's
I wasn't building it in a full time setting, and that's because I'm also a freelancer working for other clients. So I was
yeah.
doing it as a side project.
So it took you about 6 weeks to it took you about 6 weeks to get started. So and then you pick the feature based on what your clients what you think your potential clients were looking for. But I think there's another thing here. How did you discover, there's something about picking clients, picking your potential customers, and it's very hard. And I've done it before when I used to work in the SaaS business. I've done it before. It's very hard. Picking your potential customers, knowing who your potential customers are, is very is like the hardest thing even before building. So how did you pick that?
Well, there's a very important question because I see that recently you talk
Yeah,
about it a lot.
I do. I do.
I'll be honest with you, this is a step that I skipped, and
Oh, well.
I'm learning the
Okay.
hard way.
Okay.
I just felt that there's like a solution that is cool, and
Okay.
probably there will be some users or some customers somewhere who would want to um, have a solution like this. So I did not necessarily pass through that process of finding out if my customers would be interested in it. It is a process that I skipped. And I think I did that because I treated it as a side project and not like something that I would want to do full time. So
Oh, okay.
it's been a good learning curve for me. It's something like this product has taught me something that going forward I would have to implement. And I'm also learning from your content as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'm super happy that you're learning. So I've seen a whole lot of people, skip this part of things. Even I personally am guilty, When I first started business, I think I started business from a place of hunger. I don't know. A lot of people do that, but I think I did it a lot. Started it from a place of hunger because I just felt like I needed to work. I needed to earn money, and I was just going to work for anybody who would actually reach out to me until I really discovered that I was stressing myself out just working with anybody or building product with anybody. I was really stressing myself out. So we have a couple of questions here. One of them here is, I don't know. Do you know what press, Christopher?
I know WordPress, but I have never explored it.
Okay, okay. I think these are two questions. So I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna answer half, and then you probably answer the other one. Can you see the questions in your end?
Yep, yep.
Okay, so this is the one from Amura. It's Better Secondary School Media Team. So that's the one I'm reading. It's after the questions by Isaac. So it says one of the challenge with CMS like WordPress is lack of knowledge to edit codes when making a certain adjustment that the page builders may not render. Does Bubble provide means of control over your probably over the things that you're building? I think it's straightforward. I think you can go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't think I got the question correctly.
Okay, say like does Bubble allow you to play with the codes? There might be something that you want to do on Bubble that doesn't necessarily come shipped with Bubble. So does Bubble allow you to play with the code? Does it allow you to, go inside and see the code, the framework that Bubble is written with, and then play with the code in there? Does Bubble allow you to do that?
Okay, Bubble like they have their own native features and like native elements, native components and plugins, but you do not have the opportunity for you to go into like those codes to
Yeah,
tweak it. But you have that benefit of adding your own code to it. So
yeah,
there's a tool that can help you incorporate some JS code. So probably if you find out that there is something you would want to do on Bubble but cannot do, you can get some simple code from ChatGPT. You can make a simple search on ChatGPT. It will generate a simple code for you, and then you can just plug it in. That is how simple it is.
Yeah, definitely. So Bubble has a whole lot of plugins. They have thousands of plugins. I'm pretty sure that you might not really exhaust those plugins, irrespective of the kind of solution that you're looking for. Bubble have a whole lot of plugins that you can check out, and you will almost find you would almost find something that a plugin that can do what you want to do. You see, and if you're thinking what plugin is, so plugin is just a bunch of code that allows you to extend the functionality when you're building with Bubble. But if you don't find it there, if you can't find that plugin there, another thing is for you to, like Christopher said, you can just use ChatGPT to generate some very valid JavaScript, right? Generate a very valid JavaScript, and you can turn it into a plugin and install it, submit it, or you can use it personally for yourself, or you can submit it so that other persons can use this plugin. Or if
Sell
you
it. You can
yeah, you
even
can sell it. You're right, you can sell it. But if you don't know any of these two, no plugin, no ChatGPT, you can hire somebody awesome on Fiverr, right? You can hire somebody awesome on Fiverr, and that person can help you write some JavaScript and develop something very good for you, right? I think there's another question. Hey, Annie, very good to have you here. So Annie is an
any
awesome bubble guy. And it's so good to have you here. And it's so good with UI UX, Bubble UI UX, one of the best guys I've worked with for a long time. So same guy is asking again, is there a specific programming language I need to know? So yeah, I think Christopher, you can take this. Is there a specific programming language that I need to know before jumping on Bubble?
Nope. You don't need to know any specific programming language. I came from the design background, and even before the design background, I was working in the telecom field before I got into design, and then eventually into no code. And today I'm able to build functional products for my clients. So you do not necessarily have to learn how to program, but it helps you so much, because there is a saying that the best no coders are actually coders.
Programmer.
Yeah. So if you
Okay, I
know
get
how,
that. Yeah.
that's a very, it's a huge plus. If you can combine code with Bubble, then you'll be unstoppable, because you'll be building with the speed of Bubble, and you would also have the opportunity to inject your own custom code.
Definitely, definitely. So I know we're talking about minimum viable product, right? We have like 13 minutes to go. So I want to go back to talking about minimum viable products. Um, a lot of people get to launch minimum viable product, and I hear this stat that 98% of people never make a sale. 98% of people who launch minimum viable product, they never make a sale. It's only the 2%. Those are the persons we hear, louding it up on Twitter and on other social media platforms. So, what do you think a founder, a founder who's looking forward to building minimum viable products, just like you have, what are the things they need to look out for? At what point do you just give an X to that idea, to that development? I know you've come to Bubble, you've built it on Bubble, and now you take it to the market, and it's not you've taken it to the market, right? What are those things that you need to start to check? You need to start to check. What do you check? What do you look out for, so you can actually say, okay, I think this idea is worth pursuing. I think this idea is not worth pursuing.
Okay, so you will be able to know this depending on how much time and resources you put into developing a feature, because some features can really take a lot of time to build. So you would actually have to compare that feature, like in terms of, you would have to compare that feature with the other features you are building, and actually verify the value that you are going to deliver to your potential customers. If you are wasting so much time on a feature that would eventually like provide little value to your customers, then you are probably wasting your time. So you should consider prioritizing your features, and then you would know the exact one to select and to build out.
No, okay. I'm saying I get the part. I get that part, but what I'm actually saying is, you've prioritized your feature, and now you've launched your product into the market, right? Because you're building an MVP, so you took like maybe 4 features out of 20, you put it in the market. What are the stats? What do you look out for? What are the omens, if I say like that? What do you look out for to say, okay, I'm going to keep on chasing, I'm going to keep going? Or at what point do you say, okay, I've looked at all of these numbers, I'm not sure if it's good, I'm just going to stop, or I'm just going to go back again and think of this MVP thing?
Okay, sometimes we build software, we build applications thinking that there's a particular thing that is offering value. There's a
Okay.
particular feature that will be valuable to my potential customers. But you will launch it, and then eventually you notice that people are not using it. And there are so many analytics tools that can help you track that. There is this tool that you can use together with Bubble Apps. It's called Microsoft Clarity. So when you install that application, like it's a plugin you can use in your Bubble Apps. When you install it and then you connect it with your Microsoft Clarity account, you can identify the specific trends or the specific aspects of your application that people
Yeah.
are using. So there are so many analytics tools like that. I'm sure in the coding world, there are also tools like that that can help you. So we need to leverage some of these tools to actually identify the things that are valuable, or the things that we perceive to be valuable, and actually compare the value that it is delivering to our potential clients.
But how about money in the bank? Does that even help?
Money in the
How much your startup is making? Is that a yardstick at all? Like
oh
you launch an MVP,
yeah
and then you say, okay, I'm just going to check how much I have in the bank. I don't care about analytics. I'm just going to say, oh, do I have money in the bank, or do I not have money in the bank?
yeah
If I have
I,
money in the bank,
I can actually use myself as a
okay,
clean example.
okay,
So I've been doing some little, should I say little? I've been doing some organic marketing on my social media platforms.
yeah, I see you every day.
Yeah, I noticed it is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Not that it is not going anywhere, but it is not reaching the kind of audience that I would want it to reach. So there are so many other SaaS founders who are going that extra mile to market their products, and they are really seeing the results. So if I would want to get to that level, it means I would have to match them. I would have to match how my competitors are reaching um, their potential users. Because if you build something that is very good and you are not able to put it in front of people for them to see it, no one is going to know about it. Eventually, no one will use it. So yes, having that flow, like cash flow, would be able to tell you if your product is good or not, and you should be also be willing to put in the effort to market it to people for them to see.
okay, okay. Thank you very much, Christopher. So there's a question here. It says, I must I have a plan? Must I have a bubble plan to use bubble? Right? Must I have a bubble plan to use bubble? Um, Must I know any programming language? So I think Jerome, we've answered that already. You don't need to know any programming language, and you don't need to subscribe to a plan. So I think subscribing to a
You
plan is
only subscribe to a plan when you are launching your
yeah.
your application to the live mode. So that is the production mode where you can be taking like payments. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think, Christopher, that we should not be averse when it comes to subscribing to plans for tools that you think it's providing value to you. It's like me coming to DevBot now and I'm using the free trial. I don't know. I think people have this thing with free trial, right? Especially people from this side of the world. We could actually pick like 10 10 different products and use all the free trials. Some persons go ahead, some persons go down there and they kind of, they put a card with like $1, $1 in it. So, once the way it works is that once Stripe checks there's a little bit of money in your account, they will actually help you pass the free
Yeah.
trial.
Yeah.
So they get you just keep on using free trials, keep on using free trials all the way. And I think this particular kind of attitude is not very good for business. It's really hurting business because whatever you're using on that business, the person is paying, the founder is paying for it, hoping that you're going to convert into a paying customer. I think if you find value while using a product, if I find value while using DevBot, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't put my card in it and pay, because I think that's just the way it works. You find value and then you pay. Not like use somebody's value for 30 days. After using that value for 30 days, you go to move to another one again, use that 30 days, and then you keep on going. And then maybe after that 30 days, you get to register with another email address, you put a different card, you try to use it for free. I think that's not a very, very,
And one thing is, although I am new to this kind of game,
yeah,
I've had first time experience, like first hand
yeah,
experience of this. So
yeah,
when I launched my application, I put it on so many like social media platforms, and I saw that people were signing up, but they were not able to go past that stage of, or that step of like putting in their card to access the free trial. So
yeah,
I saw that there were in my database, I saw that there were so many users who I had their emails, but they
yeah,
never went ahead to use the product. So I
yeah.
had to make some tweaks to that. So currently, you don't need to you don't need to link any card for you to use the free features of Delbots.
But I think you should. I think you should put that feature again, right? Because because you're having a lot of, like the Bible would say, vanity upon vanity, right? You're
Yeah.
having a lot of vanity, but no tangible money in the bank. I think it'd be awesome that you go back and pull that feature, the ability that you pay, irrespective of how little. You could pay $1, you could pay seven, you could pay maybe 80% discount, irrespective of how little, so that people just pay. I think a lot of people have programmed their card to bounce,
Hmm.
and they have these ways around thing that I'm going to use your product for a while, and then I'm going to program my alarm clock to say if it's going to be like a 14-day trial, when it's day 13, I'm going to put my alarm clock and I'm going to go back and take it off. So I think it's not a good thing to allow users to get into a free trial or whatever. I think free trial is not very good for business. People are not very good. They're not so good when it comes to free trials. I think you should. This like a piece of advice for me. I've worked in SaaS for you. I've worked in SaaS for a long time. I think it'd be awesome. Like, so that the reason is because when
What
one
do you
person,
think?
you know what,
What do you think should be the channel to allow people to test your features?
just put a
You
video.
think they should pay a small amount for that?
Just put a video there, put a video of you testing it. Put
Mm,
a video, or a very fine video of what it can do, showing people this
okay.
is what your app can do, this is what it can do, because the value is already spelled out. You know exactly what you're going to get. There's just that chance where you're going to ask yourself, am I paying for this value or am I not paying for this value? Human beings are very impatient. They don't really need to test it before deciding to pay for the value or not, because they're very impatient. Once they get to your site and they watch that 2 3 minutes video of how the product is being used, they've already decided in their heart that I'm going to pay for this product or I'm not going to pay for this product. So if you like the video, if you watch the video and you don't want to pay, it's it's better that you don't really, you just go. You just leave my product and you just go. But if you really want to pay, I'll pay, so that you'll be able to measure your conversions really great. So if you think like you're going to be bringing people to come to the application to your website, you'll be able to say, okay, I have 10,000 hits and I have 10 paying customers. It's very straightforward. But instead of saying I have 10,000 hits, I have 300 registrations, and I have one paying customers. You see, it's like it can be crazy. It can be crazy for a whole lot of people, right?
Yeah.
This person is saying, okay, Jeremy is saying, many young people passionate about no code platforms will not have money to subscribe to this platform. So CMS that is open source becomes a must to pioneer. Uh, okay, Jerome, what do you think about that? Said many young persons might not have money to subscribe to all of these platforms. So if you have an open source CMS, I mean, somebody should think of launching an open source CMS. What do you think about that, Christopher?
Someone should have what?
Is the last question. You can check it out.
He says, unfortunately, many young people passionate about this no code platforms may not have the money to subscribe. Well, I don't think no code platforms are that expensive. If you are already in the space and you can um, validate the kind of value that it is giving to you, I don't think that amount that they charge for, let's say, a monthly fee is that expensive. There's this example is Framer. You can build a very beautiful one page website that can help you convert a lot of clients, and it only costs $5 a month. I don't think that is that expensive. Like looking at the value that is it's giving you, and the SEO features of Framer is like it's up there. It can help you like get a lot of customers who can reach you through your platform. So I think no code tools are worth it when it comes to the kind of monthly amounts that they are charging.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think, Jerome, one thing that you should also think about is if I was going to build this myself, how much is it going to cost me? Very important. You have to think about it like that. If you're working, if you meet an agency and say, I want to build, you can check out DevBot's website. It's very important for this communication. So you
So
meet
I
a,
did not get the opportunity to showcase it.
oh,
Would
oh,
it
oh,
go into your time?
okay. We have like 9 minutes more. So of course you
Okay.
can share your screen right there.
Okay.
You can go ahead and share your screen. So if you look at the website, you would see that for you to actually bring all of this that is going to show us to life, right? It's going to be a whole lot of money. It's going to take a whole lot of money for you to showcase all of this. But if you are building it this way, right? If you're building it just like so, it's cheaper and you're paying barely $32 every month to actually achieve this. So, Christopher, please take it away.
Okay. So if you are able to see my screen, this here is the landing page of Delbot. And when you are done signing up, you'll be taken to the studio, which is basically a one-page dashboard with these features. So there is a speech center, a voice center, a document section where you can upload documents. So right from here, you can type in a simple text. You can type in a simple text to convert into speech. And there are so many AI voices, pre-made AI voices that you can explore. So you can come to the voice center and explore these voices. And you can click on this button to preview them.
Change in all things is sweet. Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile.
So I hope the sound is playing.
Yeah, it's playing. It's playing,
Oh,
Christopher.
yes. And after exploring the voices from the voice center, you can select any voice that you wish and use these parameters to actually add some vocal variety to the speech that you are generating. You just need to click on this button after uploading or after typing in your text, and then the speech gets generated within 10 to 20 seconds.
Hello world, welcome to DelveBot.
So you can decide to um, either download it or preview it by clicking on this play
Hello
button.
world, welcome to DelveBot.
So what I would be looking forward for users to do is to clone their voice, because you know that is how you are going to generate some voiceovers in your own voice. So you need to come to this section in the voice center, click on this button, and you'll be asked to upload a recording, like a voice sample that does not have any background noise.
Yeah.
And decide to upload it over here. I have a voice recording already done.
Hope it's one of you singing Ghana song.
Oh no, it's supposed to be you reading a very clear like text block. So it shouldn't
Okay.
be you singing where your voice changes a bit. It should be you reading something like, let's say, in a professional way.
Yeah.
So if you would not want to upload a voice recording of yourself, you can also record it live on the application. So you enable this toggle and then you click on this button to start recording yourself. You can also click here to show you a sample of a text that you can read to ensure that you do some optimal voice cloning. So after reading this, this text actually has, um, let me say, the necessary letters and the necessary words and intonations that can help you to generate some optimal voice cloning effect. After reading that, you can stop it, and then your voice would automatically, your recording will automatically appear here so you can preview
Start
it.
recording yourself. You can also click.
So right from here, you need to insert the necessary
Fine.
details. And then you need to click on this to ensure that you have permissions for the voice that you're uploading. You need to click on this button and then your voice cloning starts immediately. So it can take about 10 to 20 seconds for your voice cloning to be done. And then it appears right here. So you can click on this button to also preview it.
This is a test speech sample playing on DelveBot, demonstrating the clarity and accuracy of its speech synthesis capabilities.
So right from here, you can also decide to upload a document. And this is a feature that I think sets my project apart from other text to speech applications. You can upload a document, and then the document takes about 5 seconds to process. It appears here. From the speech center, you can select or import the document, and then it like the model converts the document into raw text. And from here, you can make some tweaks to it, or you can just go ahead to clone to generate your voiceover using the voice that you just cloned. So you can use any of the voices that you have cloned, and then you click on generate speech to generate your voiceover. So this also takes about 10 to 15 seconds to complete. Then afterwards, it appears here, which you can either download or preview.
Thank you for considering us for your internet needs. We are excited to provide our services to help improve business operations.
I'm just imagining radio voiceovers losing their job right now. But that's fine.
This is not here for them to lose their voice. I think this here to help them reach a lot of audience, because
Yeah, to enable them. Yeah,
at any time, even when you are sick.
yeah, yeah. I get it.
So this is just what I am giving to my potential customers.
And
This,
and and this is something that you built for only 6 weeks, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, please, Christopher. You were
So
gonna
I
say
think
something.
I'm done. I'm basically done.
Okay, so if you on this call right now and you're thinking, you're thinking that the cost of no code is super expensive. I tell you, I used to work for a SaaS company, and if you decide to say you wanted to build this, right, um,
Hmm.
they will charge you up to 15,000 USD to build this.
Wow,
No, no joke,
that
no
would make
kidding,
me
anybody.
rich.
That would what?
That would make me rich.
No joke, no kidding or anything. they will charge you a whole lot of money to build this. Or you can just, check it out online, get a piece of paper, get it, bring out your phone and just check out Google standard rates for building web applications per hour. And then you see that building saying that no code is expensive, it will not be something that you think about a whole lot. And I hear Jerome is saying, why don't we build an open source CMS? See, open source is not, there's almost nothing called open source that you're not paying for. Whatever you're building, open source or closed source, somebody is actually paying for it, like it or not. If you check out almost any open source project, it's been sponsored by the big people in the industry, or if it's not sponsored by anybody, it's going to be tier based, right? The open source part is going to be free, but you're going to pay for server costs and you're going to pay for a few other things, and that's how those open source will get their money. But every other person will be allowed to make contributions to this open source, and also the kind of resources it takes for you to build a platform like Bubble, it's unbelievable, really. It's just unbelievable. That's because of how much resource it takes for you to do this. That's why you see no code company, they move at very slow pace. They bring changes at very slow pace, because just imagine you have like a million apps running on Bubble. You know that whatever change you are making to the editor is
Yep.
actually going to affect a million products. So you see, it has to be, it has to be something that you're going step
Yeah.
by step. Isaac is saying, can we get Christopher's contact? So you can just go to that dev bot. I'm pretty sure there's a customer care. There's a customer care. Uh, um,
They can also
it,
reach out to me on Twitter.
on Twitter. I'll put this Twitter link on the comment. I'll edit the comment and add this Twitter link on the comment, and then you can definitely chat up with him. Christopher, thank you so much for jumping on the call with me. I'm so delightful. This is my first live in months. I haven't done this for a while. You
Wow.
know, when you get married, you leave kind of things alone. So this has been like one of those kind of things.
I'm also very happy to be here.
Absolutely, thank you. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the first time that we're going to be the last time we're going to be doing this together. I would
Nope.
definitely call you, and any is in the chat right now. I'm definitely going to call you both up again, and we're going to have a very good time. And I'm sure that time is going to be a live build, because I want to invite you both for a live bubble build, building something live on Bubble, and see what we can create in 1 hour together, collaborating on the same, editor, seeing what we can create together in 1 hour, and seeing how much you can build. Because I think I've seen a lot of people, no code is good, but I've seen that no code also bring an endless loop. It also causes endless loop where a person keep on adding features and
Because
never stop.
they can build in a short while.
Absolutely. They can build in a short while. They keep on doing and doing and doing and doing, and it never stops. And they keep on adding colors. I've worked for a person before, Christopher, that you sleep and you wake up, he has brought a different color scheme to the application entirely. We had almost changed the scheme of that application up to 7 times, until we just had to tell the person, we're not working on this project anymore. We're sorry, we can't cope with this kind of changes. And the guy be like, is it not no code? Can't you just change it? We say, no, we know it's no code. But you're killing our time, and we're spending so much resources to work with you. Jeremy is saying, can street entities like banks, serious NGOs trust using Bubble as clients? Of course.
Of course,
They have
I once worked for one client who is from Israel, and he said he built an application for the Israel army.
on
So their
Bubble.
army probably has an app on Bubble currently. So that shows that it's a platform you can trust.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to. That's another thing that we're going to talk about probably in other episodes. Bubble security, and any is very good at that. Talking about bubble security, if you build your app really secured, nothing will pass. Especially on the server side, you build it really secure on the server side, nothing is going to pass, and people would not be able to hack your applications, because it's difficult for you to hack anything that is not on the that is on the server. If
On
it's
the
on the
server side.
browser, Might be easy to hack, but if it's on the server, it's gonna be difficult. If you want to hack what's on the server, that means you have to hack the entire bubble server
Yeah,
for that thing to actually come out. And that's going to be pretty hard considering the kind of security they have. Christopher, thank you so much for joining me on the call. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. When I come to Ghana, I owe you a big treat when I come to Ghana. I'm pretty sure I'll be coming to Ghana very soon. Definitely. Don't go away. Let's just chill a bit after the show. Guys,
okay.
thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate you guys. If you have further questions, you can leave it on the comment section and I'll do it to answer. Anyone I can answer, I forward it to Christopher on Twitter and he will definitely do well to answer it. Thank you guys for jumping on this live stream. So we have another live stream again on Thursday, same time, 2 p.m. African time. Next week we have another live stream and we're going to be learning something very beautiful. If you enjoyed this live stream, don't forget leave your comments, hit that subscription button and also hit the like button so we can go up and up in the bubble in the YouTube ranking. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in a different live stream entirely. Bye. Enjoy yourself. Aquaba. Okay, Aquaba is welcome.
Baba is welcome.
Okay.